Hey, what is going on, everyone? Tonight we have a very special episode, and we have almost the full panel here, so I am excited about. Real quick, before we do give our special guest the full introduction, I'm just gonna shout out who's on the panel. Cerebral Paul, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, not much. Just having a great week. Trying to relax, have some fun, getting ready for some excitement, playing a lot of games. That's all that's been going on.
Nice. And PK, what's up, man? All right, well, PK is somewhere. Midway, what's going on, man?
I'm here, dude. Sorry,
Alright.
I couldn't. I'm
Hey,
having audio issues. Like
PK talking?
Yeah, it's going in and out. Sorry.
Yeah, he's talking here.
I'll get it together. Give me a second. But go ahead, Midway. Let me get my audio together.
All right, Midway, go ahead. What's up, man?
Hey guys, nothing much. Glad to be back on the show. Definitely got a awesome guest on, a guy that's been helping clowns and everyone else on the channel a lot, and he's been very much appreciated. And definitely got to see the Iron Lords give the YouTube world a taste of this gentleman, and hopefully anybody that has not seen that podcast, check it out right after our podcast, getting to know this man right here who's been helping us out a lot. So glad to be part of the show, and can't wait to learn a little more about him, maybe something different.
Nice.
All right.
Well,
I think I got it.
you here, PK? Are you here now?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I think Midway just messed my audio up. I don't know what he did. What's up? Thanks for everybody coming through. And yes, we have a real special guest. Friend. Compadre. Man in arms, whatever you want to call it. And we definitely want to get a little more insight, and hopefully he give us some more insight about the inner workings of not only what he do, his journey, and also maybe he can give us some sneak peeks on some projects. I don't know. We'll find out.
No pressure, Paris.
Well,
no pressure.
Well, first off, I'd like to introduce this man right here. He's a really good friend, but he's an amazing, talented individual who not only holds up the Marvel Cinematic Universe in his hands across the interwebs, but he does a lot over there at Xbox. What is going on, Paris?
Hey, what's going on, Carlo, PK, Cerebral Paul, and Mr. Midway Monster? How y'all doing today?
I'm good, man. How you?
Awesome.
Good.
I'm doing good. It's Thursday, 2021. Well, no, 2022. 421, right?
Wow.
Yeah, it's been good, man. I'm happy. Thanks for inviting me on the show to, have some conversations, talk about what's going on, and let's get this party started.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Paris, I always like to start out with this question that a friend, once gave to me an idea of. So, do you or do you not eat pineapples on your pizza?
I think this is the first time I've actually had an opportunity to ask this question. I think we've asked it, but let's see. I have eaten pineapples on my pizza. Do I prefer it? I wouldn't prefer it, but I have ordered pineapples on my pizza, and I have done it plenty of times too. So I'm not ashamed.
Blocked and muted.
Oh, pineapples on pizza. If anyone else out there likes pineapples on pizza, let 4GQ TV know, because I don't want to be the only one who's sitting in the corner by myself eating pineapples on pizza. So
why not? You get the whole pizza by yourself.
Yeah, you get the whole pizza by yourself that way.
There you go.
So Paris, I want to start out, and maybe you're asked this a lot amongst your peers or not, but it's something that I always like asking, right? Because I grew up in the days of the arcades. So arcades are like a huge thing for me. It was going to a quick comic convention at the local hotel across the street from the mall, then going over to the arcade, eating a couple slices of pizza. What were some of your favorite arcade games back in the day? Did you
Back
hang
in the
out in the
day,
arcades?
wow. Like we're going back there. I mean, Street Fighter 1 when it first came out, Street Fighter 2, of course, that was it. Street Fighter 2 was probably the best. And then there was Killer Instinct, and then Mortal Kombat, the first Mortal Kombat was amazing. I remember playing that at the bus transit stop. Like you would catch the bus somewhere, and then there was a transit stop where all the buses come, and then you could pick the bus to go wherever you need to go. But Mortal Kombat was in there. I missed like all my buses until like the last bus to get home because I'd be playing Mortal Kombat. So yeah, those were the old school ones, the ones that I remember the most, that I played the most was Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct. I'm sure there's more. There's the Pac-Mans of the world, and Crisis and all of those other ones, but those were my main go-to ones, especially Street Fighter. I have been playing that for a long, long time. Then it was Capcom versus Marvel. That game was awesome too, so I played that a lot. Yeah, it's been good.
Now, were you good at the fatalities in that game?
For Mortal Kombat, yes. Yeah, it took me a while to get on, but then once I figured it out, it was easy. I know how to do almost all of them. I was just like, yeah. But it's funny when you don't get it right. Your guy just jumps back or jumps forward. You're like, and then time runs out.
Yeah. What about pinball? Did you ever play pinball?
I played a little bit of that. Pinball was always cool. But, when you have 50 cents to your name and you're growing up, pinball wasn't the game of choice. I'd burn it playing, the action fighting games. Or then I would play like the Ninja Turtles. I don't know if you guys remember Ninja Turtles, a 4-player Ninja Turtles game.
Yes.
I love that game. And that you can beat that game. So if you wanted a long game to play, to beat, that you knew you were going to get a lot of, action in, you play Ninja Turtles and just run through the whole game. And stuff like that. So yeah.
So, what was your early career like before, you ended up at Microsoft and Xbox? What did you do? What was your path there?
Well, shouldn't we start by what does he do? And what is so special about him today?
There you
That's where
go.
we need to
There you
start.
go. Let's
Okay. We can go back to
We
the
know
past.
him, but the audience needs
Yeah.
to know why is
Yeah.
Harris Lockhart so special.
Yeah, there we go. Well, I wouldn't say I'm special. We're all special. We're all special in some sort of way, right?
I'm sure you guys hear that
Yeah.
in the crowd.
Some more special than others. Yes.
I work on the quality engineering team. So I work on QA for xCloud. We basically do a lot of testing, and we do a lot of configuration testing and ensuring that things that we're shipping is great. So yeah, that's basically what I do in a nutshell. All up, it's fun times. Being taking cloud gaming to where it's at so far. We're just sort of like scratching the surface. There's a lot of cool things going on within cloud gaming and the industry as a whole, right? So it's cool to see sort of like the evolution of it and where it's going. So that's basically what I do at Xbox. Yeah, it's fun. A lot of good stuff. Sometimes long nights, but it's always a challenge. I love challenges. I love figuring out the most difficult problems to fix them. And I love, the gaming community, working for them and trying to deliver the best experiences possible, right? As a gamer myself, I always thought, hey, I want this, I want that, I want this. So that sort of led me into sort of like where I'm at right now. I just took that path of my career to learn certain things to put me in a position where I can actually now deliver experiences to people, and then also talk to people within the industry, and people that are gaming fans that just play a lot of games, listening to what they want, what are they passionate about, can I deliver that, right? Can I fix some of the problems that people are people are having with gaming. Am I impacting lives across the world um, off the stuff that we're delivering? And how do we get better at what we're doing? So it's a challenge. It's fun. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. So I'm happy.
Hey, could you tell is could you tell us, does it seem like, because it appears to us and we don't know, that pretty much any game that goes on Game Pass will definitely feature on XCloud?
No, we don't have every game that's on Game Pass and XCloud. Not every game, but we're trying to get as many games as possible.
Does it look like it's going that direction though?
Well, I mean, you see the catalog. I mean, I let the catalog speak for itself.
I'm,
Yeah.
I let the catalog
I'm
speak for
asking
itself.
for the audience. Not,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Midway,
trying. There's a
did
lot
you
of
have any
things.
questions?
Not right now. Let the show go on, and I'll probably have stuff that'll pop in my head.
So I think your job is pretty cool, and a lot of people uh, get to see the inside of how it is. I think it would be cool, Paris, if you tell that story about the what you know. Shout out to Paris for hanging out and helping me with a program for the high school students. Um, he told a
Yeah,
story about Phil's conference room. Is it his office or conference room or something? And I think that was super important on
yeah,
how the
yeah.
viewpoint of how Xbox view things.
Yeah, the cool thing, prior to myself working in Xbox, I used to work within the Microsoft Digital team, uh, formerly known as Microsoft IT. So I did a lot of IT stuff, and part of my job back then was to so I managed all our conference rooms across. This is before COVID, across our entire Microsoft portfolio, which generally over I believe 21,000 meeting rooms across all our buildings across the world. So when I was doing that, we were configuring like executive conference rooms, right, with Microsoft Teams, right. We had when Teams was exploding, we were thinking about sort of like how do we provide the best meeting experiences and stuff like that. And we came across just different executives within Microsoft to deliver these experiences, and actually delivered Phil Spencer's conference room too. So I don't know if he's showcased it at all. I think there was a showcase probably within our Microsoft blog spot where we talk about Microsoft Teams, that we're facilitating what our conference rooms look like, the sort of the next generation of meeting experiences, and how we try to make them as inclusive as possible. So yeah, so I did his. It was great. Yeah, it was a journey, to say the least, but it's a nice conference room, just like all the other ones that we're trying to build. And the funny thing about conference rooms and stuff like that in this new COVID world, the way that we are building our rooms and the way that Microsoft was selling it to customers was like, hey, we can this fits the hybrid format. So if people are interested in Microsoft Teams and stuff like that, you go check out Microsoft's Teams websites and get more information on meeting rooms. But yeah, that's sort of what I did before I joined the Xbox team.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, so how did you transition, let's say? And first of all, like, what did you do a little bit before Microsoft? And then how did you transition to Xbox Cloud Gaming?
Yeah. So right I'll start from high school time. So in high school, I started working at Kmart. It was some funny things. I worked in electronics. I always had a passion for electronics. We'd had video games in there and stuff like that. That's when the PlayStation 1 was out. We had I would hook up the video games on all the TVs in Kmart in the electronics section, and I would just be playing, waiting for people to come and buy some stuff, and I would sell it to them, and then I'd just be playing a game. But I'd be playing a game, and it'd be across all the screens because they had the AB switchers that that allowed you to do that, or they were like, hey, you need to turn the game off and put on a movie. So I remember when Twister was out, and when Twister first came out in DVD, I had Twister running and stuff like that. So my electronics sort of, passion for tech started back then, and stuff like that. So after I graduated high school, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I started going to college, but I felt at the time it wasn't for me because I just wasn't sure about like what I wanted to do. And I just ended up, a bunch of friends of mine, we all joined the Navy at the same time. And I served 8 years in the U.S. Navy, did 2 Gulf tours during that time, was stationed in Japan for 3 years. I during the time I was in the Navy, I actually did computer stuff also. So I did what we call IT now. Back when it started, it was called Radio Man, and then it merged into two ratings merged into each other and then created IT. So so it was cool. It was a fun experience back then, to learn sort of different technologies. The Navy, U.S. Navy is always on the cutting edge. We're doing stuff that people just wouldn't sort of fathom. They're actually doing stuff like that right now. It's probably 110% positive is way more advanced than when I was in to where it is now. I'm sure it's just as crazy as far as like the capabilities and stuff like that. But yeah, when I was in, it was got to meet a lot of people, got to travel around to different countries, got to understand different languages, and gave me a different perspective on life versus what goes on in the United States compared to what other parts of the world, and understanding sort of like governments and how they all react differently to different world events. And being an American, are you hated? Stuff like that. So it's a good experience. I for all the people that haven't traveled or strictly U.S. Maybe save up some money and travel outside the country to sort of get a different perspective on things and to understand sort of like how other cultures are living, and just to gain more knowledge for yourself. So that helped me a lot, as far as like my building more of a sort of global perspective on my everyday life. Like I appreciate a lot of things that happen, that happens here in the United States. It can be rough, but compared to some other countries, it's sort of like we do have it better. We do have a functional government. We do have things that are in place. We do have a lot of good things. It's not perfect. There's things that need to improve, but if you're looking at a 50,000 foot level, it's okay. So, yeah. I think the second part of that question was how I got into Xbox, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, how you transitioned from where you were at Microsoft into Xbox.
Yeah, the funny thing is like, I always like when I first started at Microsoft, my number one plan was to get into Xbox. Like I wanted to work in the organization. I was like, I'm gonna take whatever classes I need to take and do everything I need to do to, understand sort of like the business part of it. Because playing video games and talking about sort of features and stuff like that, or it's just one part of it, but understanding sort of like the business on how it works is a totally different sort of mindset you got to focus on to be successful. Because as a global gaming company, you want to be able to, it's a global audience, right? It's just not strictly United States, strictly Japan, or strictly China, or wherever people are playing their games at. It's a global perspective. So you got all the different studios out there that are making games for global audiences and stuff like that. So you want to learn that. So I, took time out to learn different things and forced myself to take another class and work full time. So it's just one of those things where, you just go through the motions. And I was able to do that. Linked up with a few people within Xbox, and had some mentors and some guidance, and then I landed a role there. So I just never gave up on the dream that I actually had from back when I started in the Navy. I told folks in the Navy when I started in the Navy, I was like, we were installing Windows NT 4.0 and Exchange 5.5 and Exchange 2000 and Windows, was it 98? I don't know. Windows XP, maybe. I don't know if it's XP. No, maybe Millennium Edition. One of those. But I'm not going to say anything about Vista. But that's its
That's a
own
whole other
thing there.
show. That's a whole other show.
But yeah, so just following up on the things that I had a passion for. So that was what I did, and then I finally landed a role, and here I am. So I'm pretty happy. The fact that I was able to accomplish those goals. I'm not finished yet, as I'm now in the gaming organization. So I have more plans to do other things and to be part of this community as a whole. So shout out to Xbox and all the things that we're doing over there.
He's coming for you, Phil. Oh no, just kidding. Hey, there's a question for you in the chat, Paris. Your favorite Xbox game?
My favorite Xbox game all time? Ooh, Xbox game or Xbox like series or titles? Or
it says Xbox game, so I'm sure you can throw
Xbox.
series in there if they.
Wow. I really don't have a favorite Xbox.
Yes, all-time game franchise. So.
Oh, franchises. I remember being on Iron Lords. They asked me these same questions about. I think I know Madden was in there. I know 2K was in there, but it was. I would have to say Assassin's Creed franchise. The Assassin's Creed, Assassin's Creed 1, 2, 3, Brotherhood, all the way up to Revelations, and then I played Black. Was it Black Sea? Black. I think it's.
What Black Flag was?
Black Flag, yeah, Black Flag. I played Black Flag, and then I played the one after that, when Connor, I forgot the name of that one.
After Black Flag was Origins, I believe.
What was before Black Flag? Was it the one where he was Connor?
That was
Assassin's Creed 3.
Was that 3?
Yep.
Okay, Brotherhood was in Brotherhood and Revelations was in between,
right?
2 and 3. Then okay, Unity. There he goes. Unity. Also, yeah. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of them, right? So I love that franchise. I started playing Origins. I can't even say the word right, but and then So that's probably my all-time favorite franchise. If I had to pick a game out of those, it was probably either Brotherhood or Revelations, because I love Revelations. I don't know if anybody has seen or remember watching. If you go on YouTube, go watch the Revelations trailer. That trailer for Revelations was probably the best trailer I've ever seen for a video game setup. Like when he's like sees himself and he's older and he's fighting all these people, he's like out of breath, and the song was a perfect song for the trailer. I was like, this is epic. Like, I love that.
Very cool.
So wow. So when it comes to, do you have? I know you mentioned Assassin's Creed. Do you have any favorite, let's say, like Xbox games that you've played with your friends, maybe even before you worked at Xbox, like Gears of War or Halo?
Yeah, it was Halo. It was Halo because when I first started playing video games, I had the Nintendo, Sega, Nintendo Cube for Mario Kart, then PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. I played a lot of SOCOM on PlayStation 2. That was just like my stuff. SOCOM 1, SOCOM 2, SOCOM 3. Like that game right there, like that was what brought me into the first initial multiplayer. Like the commercials for SOCOM, which is ridiculous. It was a different experience to some of the first person shooters you see now, because that game was third person shooter. Then there was like, within SOCOM, there was team kills, right? There wasn't this sort of, just running around, run and gun. And then if you die, you had to wait till the end of the round. So it was more strategic. You just can't just run out there and just shoot 10 people, right? You're going to run out of ammo or you're going to get sniped by someone. So the SOCOM game sort of like brought me into sort of the multiplayer franchises. Nintendo, the Mario Kart, that was multiplayer also, but I'm talking about like shooters and stuff like that. And then when I moved back here, all my friends here, they all had Xboxes. and I was the only PS person. So I was like, I need to be able to play with y'all. And then Halo 2 was out. Halo 1 already had been out, but Halo 2 was out, and that's sort of what got me in and looped me into the Xbox community and stuff like that. I was like, oh, I gotta buy this. So I ended up buying my first Xbox 360 was the RTD2 one. I was on Amazon. I was like trying to search for one. I was like, I don't even know which one to buy. I seen this cool Star Wars one. I'm a Star Wars fan. Hey, let's just buy this one on Amazon. I don't even know why I spent $500 on it. I was just like, oh, this is cool. But yeah. But I ended up selling it to someone on Amazon. It was funny. I don't know who that person is, but whoever got it, they got a nice one. Because if I could take that all back, I wouldn't have never sold that RTD2 one. So I even had the C3PO controller and all that. So I just didn't know, right? I'm like, I could have had it on my shelf right here, and yeah, and had stories about it. But it is what it is. So yeah, so that's sort of where it started.
Well, speaking of shelf, I know that everybody makes jokes about Phil's shelf, but behind you, there's an object that some people might have questions about what is that and how you got that. That thing that looks like a snowboard, but does it function like a snowboard?
Yeah, that is a snowboard. That's a snowboard. That's one of the like I think last year Microsoft does what we call give campaign, where we give people give money to charities, their personal charities and charities across the world to and then Microsoft does a match for it. I think last year we broke the record for how much money Microsoft employees and the match donated, which was really awesome to see. I love that service that we do. It's it gives us an opportunity to give back to communities, and people have their own personal give charities that they like to sort of promote that you may not even know about. So it produces things like that. You just donate because you're like, oh, this is an awesome charity. So it's like I'm going to donate, some money to help in that scenario, from giving kids desk in Africa to domestic violence victims, all sorts of just charities that are out there that really, really serve the community really well. So I love the fact that we do that. There was a charity for the snowboard that a few people at Microsoft was putting together. And I think there was only 15 or 16 of them made. And I got number 2. So I was able to get that. Haven't used it yet. I'm sure if Phil is ever watching this, he probably would say, you're never going to use it. But I'm going to use it, Phil. One of these days. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. So I don't want to get stolen.
Speaking of Phil, Paris, could you share with the audience that story about the chair?
Oh,
Because
chair.
I felt like the chair that sits in the middle of the room, and I feel like that's a good analogy of the viewpoint of how Xbox as a brand looks at their customer base.
Yeah. Xbox does. We do think about the gamer is are essential to what we're doing. The community. So there is a chair in the conference room that has it's an empty chair, and that's the gamer's chair. This lets people know that the gamers have a seat at the table. So it's cool to see. It's wonderful. It's like this is what it's all about. And that's why my passion, like just seeing the leaders of the company just think about the gamers and they put them first. It's just like it's amazing to see, and it just promotes that togetherness that we're all in here together trying to build something awesome for the community and give them the games that they want to play wherever they want to play and whenever they want to play. So it's limitless, right? So yeah, that's pretty much what that is.
I find that awesome because it sets a visual representation to keep people forward thinking, um, and keeps them grounded whenever, uh, like you said, doing business, could be creating, could be how they think about engaging, right? Is to keep them, the customers, or the gamers, the center base. And I
Mhm.
think that's just a dope analogy. Um, So, with that said, man, you had a pretty cool journey there. You talked about, and I thought it was dope to kind of walk through how you kind of failed a couple times, but you got where you wanted to be at at, at the very end goal. So that's another analogy, right? Uh, you wanted it the most, so that you put in the work to get where you wanted to be. So,
Yeah.
so far as what you do on a daily, your experiences and things like that. Um, how do you manage being trying to divide the line between the gamer and business when you're off the clock? You
Oh,
know what
when
I
I'm
mean?
off the clock,
Yeah.
when I'm playing games with people, I'm just, I don't really talk about, work, right? It's more of just talking about the game. Like when I'm playing with other people at Microsoft, if we're always talking about just the game. It gives me an outlet to unplug and stuff like that. So I just when I'm on playing Destiny 2 or I'm playing Elden Ring now, I just unplug, I talk about the game, but there may be something, oh, I wish I had this feature sort of thing, but other than that, it's like, it's just all about the game. So I don't really talk about, work and stuff like that. Unless a work issue comes up, right? But
Mhm.
it all depends on who I'm playing with too. So, but generally, it's not about work. It's I just unplug. You just got to be able to do that, even just daily life. Like when you're for everyone that's listening or watching the call, this video, or whoever you guys that are on the call, if you're whatever work you're doing, you unplug from work and you jump into a game to jump into the world that you're playing in, that last thing you sort of want to talk about is dang, if I worked at help desk, dang, I forgot to close this ticket, crap, right? Or oh man, I could have did this the other way, right? Or stuff like that. But you just don't think about that stuff, and you just jump into the game and jump on with your friends and chat about hey, how was your day? Oh, it was great. Okay, awesome. Let's how are we going to defeat this creature or this monster, or what drop are we trying to get this time around, sort of thing. So yeah, it's really about the game. So that's how I unplug. And I have a pretty strict regimen around that. Try not to talk about work. And for folks that have been on this call, or the people that are watching that I played online with, it's generally just about the game. Yeah.
And we generally don't ask about work either.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. There do be some people jump in and try to ask about work. Hey, can you fix this? Can you do this? Can you do that? I'm like, whoa.
Well, I take that back. I do.
Yeah.
I
Let me
do.
show you.
I
Let me show
no.
you
I
what you
don't
gotta do.
ask him.
You grab your Xbox controller and then
I
you hold the
say
start
that I have a
menu.
problem, and then he immediately he's that guy, right? He wants to fix it, so he
Yeah.
hears me having an issue, and it's
Yeah.
like, ah.
Yeah. Report a problem. Hold the start menu down,
Yeah.
and then go from there.
But definitely, I think that's dope, and it's actually important for a lot of people for mental health reasons to definitely unplug. Um, it's I know it's a struggle for me too, but I'm glad that you're in a safe space where you can definitely carpent compartmentalize that. I can't even say the word. Um, so that you could keep it moving and not have to worry about stressing about the next project going on at work.
Hmm.
So talking about games, man, I would say what is your most anticipated game of 2022?
2022. I would probably say Starfield is mine. That's what I'm waiting on.
Starfield.
That's what I'm waiting on. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they're doing. It's pretty cool. So what they've showed so far on the public forum with the some of the videos and stuff. So I'm very excited to
Would that
see
be
sort
on
of like
XCloud?
that. What's that?
Would that be on XCloud?
I don't know.
Look at him.
Gave me a PR answer. Okay, let's move on.
I
S-
don't think we've
uh,
gotten that far yet. You know, I
I think
mean,
I'm hopeful, right? I'm hopeful.
yeah.
Do you think should the acquisition get completed with the Activision and Blizzard, will we have the IPs such as Overwatch joining the Game Pass and XCloud as well, and maybe some of the Call
I
of Duty franchise?
Yeah, I generally don't have any opinion on that because it hasn't closed yet. So I'm just like y'all, just waiting.
Got
So
you.
Waiting to find out. Yep.
But the Bethesda deal has closed,
yeah.
so we could look forward to like Deathloop on XCloud and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I mean, if things work out to the point where they want to do it, we have a content team that works with all our first party studios, and they try to figure it out, and then we go from there. So yeah, but if the gaming community pushes for it and wants it, please let us know. Give us the feedback of what games you want to see on xCloud that's not out there yet. Yeah, let us know.
I also would like, and maybe you can give us an idea on the remote play feature as well, because that's not really advertised. And I think that's a great feature alongside xCloud to be able to play the games installed on your Xbox at home. Um, do you think that could just be more expanded to where it's not just a separate thing, it's part of it where you can just see your library at home when you log in?
Yeah, I would. I don't work on that team specifically, so I'm not sure what the plans are for that. But yeah, if you have anything specifically that you're looking for to provide, just like let send me an email or something, or
Yeah.
tweet, a DM, and then I could take it forward and give that feedback. But yeah, anything that we could do to improve the experiences on any of our platforms, we're always looking to do. So yeah, I would definitely just send me a piece of information of what you're actually looking for, because I don't work on that, so I don't know you know like what they're doing and stuff like that right now, because it's just not my team. But yeah, anything that you have that can any ideas, shoot them along, and we'll see sort of like what that brings up. We'll see what they're thinking about and stuff like that. So.
So we got a message in the chat. Graphic Guy says he want to thank you personally for helping with his cloud gaming issue.
Oh yeah. No worries. Yeah, thanks for sending me that video. We really appreciate it. Thanks for the feedback. It's awesome. So that's the sort of like community we want to build. Is like we want people to send us stuff that they see, and it helps us get better, do better, be better. So thank you.
Well, that's one thing I've always appreciated about Microsoft. Not just you, but anytime I have a problem, there's usually somebody I can reach out to or somewhere I can send a message, and I don't get canned feedback. I get actual responses from real people. So and that doesn't happen in a lot of businesses nowadays.
You don't get the automated response.
Right. No, I get people like you who really want to help, who really want to
Yeah,
look at the problem and really want to solve it. So,
awesome.
yeah. So yep.
So Paris, what is your everyday day to day like? I mean, I know that you do the Xbox cloud gaming. You're in that division. Um, from the start of the workday to the end of the workday, without saying anything that you can't say, right? What's a typical day like for you?
I wake up, I brush my teeth, I take a shower, get my daughter ready for school. Well, just generally at work, there's meetings and stuff like that. We talk a lot, fix problems, discussions about goals and stuff like that. Think about what we could do better, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a daily thing. We're always meeting, always talking about things. Yeah, keeps me going. It's fun.
Are you guys still
Um,
remote?
We're hybrid right now, so you can be remote and go into the office. So.
We have a question in chat from Midway. He said, "Did anyone ask Paris about how he got into the Marvel Facebook group?" So I guess he's curious about that, Paris.
Yeah, back in I think it was 2014 or 2016? I think either one of those 2 years. I don't know. That was a long time ago. The group was started, and it just grew, and we've grown it into a nice community of where people come in and talk about all things Marvel. That's other than work, right? That's my other passion is comics, movies and superheroes and supervillains and all that other stuff. So I've always I grew up on that stuff, and it's sort of will always be a part of my DNA. And I was able to join up, and we were able to create something with the Marvel group and just take it to the next level. Next thing you know, it's just blowing up. Got over 500,000 members in there. Actors and people from the studios and and stuff like that. So it's cool to see sort of the interaction and them jumping in to talk to fans every once in a while, post something and stuff like that. So it's good, but it's generally just everybody else posting stuff about what they think is going to happen within the movies, or what comic they're reading, and or what TV show they like the best, and stuff about the TV shows that are going on within the Marvel universe right now. So it's a good time to be, if you're a Marvel fan. Unfortunately, we don't talk about DC there, but we do have a DC group that's spinning up and stuff like that. And then there's a Star Wars group I'm spinning up also, to get more into Star Wars and have that sort of build that community also. Think about Star Wars is a little bit more tricky than the Marvel universe as far as like the fans go. So just got to figure out sort of like an even kill there. There's been groups before, and they get toxic pretty quickly. So it's been a slow grind for me to try to figure out sort of like what and how I would go about, sort of managing it. I don't want another full-time job because this is all free work. So I'll keep working on that. But yeah, the Marvel group is excellent. It's just sort of like goes on. It has some excellent mods. Shout out to the mods that mod the Marvel group. They do a wonderful job. They're in the community. They love Marvel and all the things that go along with it, stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm very appreciative of them, and I'm very appreciative of all the people that have joined. So, if you are on Facebook or have a Facebook account, all you got to do is look up Marvel Cinematic Universe. We're the only group with 500,000 fans, or 500,000 members, join up and come talk all things Marvel. You'll see me posting in there every once in a while and stuff like that. I try not to post as much as I used to, but I'll get sent some stuff and I'm like, oh, I gotta post. Oh, Hasbro sending me this. Oh, I gotta grab this stuff and post this stuff, because it's like you get hooked up in the industry a little bit, and you have a nice following. They want to get their stuff out there. So I'm sort of catalyst and stuff like that. So it's cool. Yeah.
Though there's this one mod named Otto that he doesn't like me every time I try to post something.
Yes.
Yeah, good old Otto mod. Yeah,
that's the Facebook Auto the auto moderator. That's all Facebook's thing there. We're trying to work with them on trying to fix it. One thing about our group, like we are the first group to get some of their new features and stuff like that, and test them out. So that's one cool thing about it also. They'll give us opportunity to test new stuff and see how it works within a large community. It's something that they could either, send and use, but or they'll stop using it. So it's cool.
With that being said, what's your favorite superhero right now?
Oh, good question.
Favorite superhero all time? Superhero
on the Marvel side right now.
On the Marvel side, ooh, wow. If we're just talking about all up superheroes, like from comics and then the movies, all that stuff included, I would say Iron Man is my favorite. Not just because of the movies, but before the movies, he had always been my favorite. Him and War Machine, and how their relationship worked when Tony Stark was a drunk, and then Rhodes took over and was Iron Man for a while, and he was War Machine and all that other stuff. They have a nice relationship as far as on how they've grown. I wish in the movies they would have touched on that a little bit more. But the movies is different, and things like that. So, it is what it is right now. So I would say Iron Man, and then a close, War Machine also, stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, I like Thor. I like all of them. Like, I do like them all. I like Guardians of the Galaxy now, stuff like that. But yeah. The list will, if I start naming them, the list will just continue to go and go and go. That's
okay, I want to hear the other side though. DC, the other side.
DC, who's my favorite DC? Oh man, I always liked Superman, but then I didn't stop liking him. It's just like he's OP, right?
Yeah.
He's definitely OP for the DC universe, right? He should be like in Marvel, really, because they got people that can fight him. And in
Well,
DC,
they have their own Hyperion.
Yeah, like he should, like they got Hyperion, they got Phoenix, they got Scarlet Witch, they got all these characters that could probably stand up to Superman. In DC, I mean, you got Batman, he's a human, he can just throw him in space. You got, everybody else. You got the Flash. I guess he can run
slow
fast.
down.
But
Yeah, hang on,
How you gonna
just
go straight to throwing people into space? Where this come from?
I'm just saying.
Remember, Superman's a Boy Scout. He's not going to do that.
He can just toss. He can toss Batman into space anytime he wants to. He just pick him up and just throw him into space. Like
this guy.
I was just saying, he's OP for the universe. But I would probably say, if I was like the nitty gritty, I like Batman. All the gadgets. I'm a tech guy, so I love. I'm a techie. I love Batman, and then I love. I like the Flash. Aquaman. I like Wonder Woman too. She's awesome.
You're probably the only person I've ever heard, at least before, what's his name, Momoa became Aquaman, that said, I like Aquaman. Most people go, Aqua what? Yeah. If the man ain't standing near a pool of water, he's useless, okay?
Yeah. Aquaman can be OP also. Like, Batman's not messing with Aquaman. There's a lot of people that ain't. He's like as strong as Superman, kind of. So
underwater, yeah.
So I do have a question for you, Paris. So, based on, let's say, all the Marvel games that have ever been on Xbox, and we're going back at the original Xbox, Xbox 360, and what we have currently now, what would you say is one of your most favorite Marvel games throughout the generations of Xbox?
Yeah, do we have to say Xbox? How come we can't just say all time?
Okay, yeah, we can go all time.
Don't limit Paris. Yeah, limit Paris, you throw him off.
Yeah. I need to go to the OG OG Sega Genesis Spider-Man game. Like that Spider-Man on Sega, man. That was like the best one. You got the cartridges, you got the web, you got Venom, you got all that stuff going on with that Spider-Man game. You got to take pictures to get money to buy the cartridges and stuff. Like that OG Spider-Man game was like, it was awesome. You get the little Spidey senses tingling too. You got to fight all those. You got to fight almost every character in there. I like that game. That game was awesome. That was like one of the best ones made during its time, right? I'm not talking about the newer ones and stuff like that. But I would probably say that Spider-Man game. I didn't really play too many other ones on Xbox. I haven't. Just going through the list of games that have been out. Yeah, I don't think I played many Spider-Man games since that one.
There's a question for the chat from Midway in the chat. What did you think of the Snyder Cut?
Snyder Cut? It was good. I'm surprised they didn't use. They should have used that the initial rollout of the movie.
Yeah, they really should have.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. DC's going through their thing, so hopefully they. It sounds like they're working to improve things. So I'm excited to see what they do. I'm happy that they got a few movies coming out, so I'm excited to see those too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah,
the new seasons of some of their really good TV stuff is coming back
yeah,
too
TV
here. So
shows and stuff like that. So yeah, they've got a lot of good things going on over there in DC. Hopefully, they just
yeah,
what I want. I don't they don't have to copy Marvel's cinematic universe like per, but the platform, the blueprint is there. Like use some of that blueprint in your movies to bring these characters and tell these stories. You don't have to do it. They don't have to live
right.
in forever in your universe. You can kill them off, right, and introduce other characters like they've done in Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, I and that'll just keep it
Mm.
fresh. Like when you're introducing newer characters, it gives the opportunity for newer characters to come in because you already established this nice fan base of movies that have been good over and over and over.
Yep.
Like the rebooting of Batman. Like I don't know if this is like the
Yeah.
fourth, fifth
Speaking of
generation
what
of
did you have
Batman.
you seen? Have you seen the Batman?
Yeah, I have seen the Batman. Yeah, I thought it
Did
was
you
pretty
enjoy it?
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so did I.
like a detective sort of movie where he's trying to figure things out. Yeah, I like that style.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if this Batman in this universe fits in the whole DC thing because of the way that it was. But Batman didn't really have any tech in this movie. It's sort of like old schoolish
Yep.
technology wise. It's like
Well, I
how's this
liked it.
Batman
Yeah,
gonna
I
fight?
liked it because it was 3 years into his career, so it was
Yeah,
so
yeah. It's
early
like the
on into
young.
the whole Batman thing. So
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see sort of like how what they do um, on that.
yep. And then there was another Killer Scorpion asked, "What's your superpower?" He's rich. So
Oh.
He's just
Um,
making a reference there.
Uh,
well,
Cole
oh, was I
Eastwood.
thought he was asking a question. Well, it's a fair question. If you had a superpower, what would you want it to be?
oh, if I had a superpower?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Huh. If I had a superpower, what would I want? Like whose superpower if I had a superpower, whose would I choose?
Yeah.
I would choose I would choose uh either Thor or Captain Marvel's powers. Like they're just
Okay.
indestructible.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thor. That's interesting. Thor.
you have, so
That's a
you're
very
what you're saying is you have a god complex. No, I'm kidding.
no. But so
Hey,
in the
hey, my name
ch-
isn't God. I think there's somebody named Graphic God in
Yeah,
the chat.
God, there you go.
yeah. In the chat, Paris Colt says it's good to see you.
Yep. Oh, hey, Cole, what's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in.
So, Paris, take an Xbox question, and you don't gotta legitly say yes or no. It's more like an opinion. All right. Um. So let's be real. Xbox been struggling with the Japanese market forever. However, this generation it seems like things are turning around. Do you think, or is Xbox strengthening their relationship with the Japanese um, developers, companies, publishers? Because I know Sega is a uh, very close with Xbox, has been since day one. But what is your thoughts on the relationship now, and where do you think it would be going forward?
Ooh, it's a good question, but I was gonna say, my opinion is I don't have an opinion on that. How about that?
Nice. Yes. Good answer.
Okay, well, give
Um,
me your thought.
I don't know. I mean, look what we released publicly about Japan and things like that. I think there was a tweet where somebody was hiring a bunch of people that work in Japan. So I'll let y'all jump on Twitter and go find that tweet by somebody at Microsoft that was posting that. So yeah, that should
yep.
answer some of your questions.
I
Yes,
remember
some
that. Yeah.
some of them. I'm just it's for mainly an audience because I think a lot of Xbox owners are hungry for more Japanese titles, and you know I think I think we're going in that direction where they're strengthening their relationship with the East, so that they're putting more and more games on Game Pass. At least it appears. Um, and just being hopeful for that relationship to blossom and
Yeah,
stronger.
Yakuza was on Game Pass. I mean, we have a lot of Japanese titles on Game Pass. I think what you might want to do, like if you're looking for more games on to come to Game Pass or come to Xbox from any of the Japanese studios, I strongly suggest you reach out to them and give them feedback, saying, hey, we want more games on Xbox, and then reach out to folks at Xbox saying, hey, we want more Japanese titles on Xbox, and give them that feedback. Let them know sort of how you feel as a fan of Xbox and a fan of these Japanese studios, and you want these games. That's all I can recommend you to do, and people will listen. Right? This isn't sort of I'm going to close my ears to things, because that's not how things are done. The folks will listen. So that's what I recommend you to do. Give that feedback. Anybody who's watching, like if you want certain games on Xbox Game Pass, reach out to the studio of that, and then reach out to folks that, provide that, give us that feedback so we can have something tangible to work on. Right. I don't like to assume much, because in this industry, it's really tough to assume things. So, because I'm just not in that.
Yep. And I'm a firm believer of give feedback in proper channels if you really want to see change. So
yeah.
Fonzarelli says, "I want Leisure Suit Larry, please."
Wow.
Fonz, I gotta say, that was a fun game back in the day on the PC, man. That was a pretty big title for me as well. And I was glad to see the one that came to the original Xbox. And I know 360 had that college one as well. But yeah, it's an interesting series for sure. It's a classic.
I remember when that first came out. Oh, man. They actually pixelated the pixelated. Yeah.
So Paris, as a Marvel fan to another Marvel fan, Marvel's Avengers, I'm gonna sit on this hill and say it's still one of my favorite on the Series X to play with friends. Have you played that one lately?
I haven't played it like lately, but I have played it a lot. I played with a few folks on the call, so I think we all played Black Panther's the Black Panther thing together before on a couple of months ago or something like that. Maybe 6 months ago. One of those.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It's still fun. I'm glad that they're making the improvements to it and keep it going. I'm excited, sort of like what they're working on. They did a great job with Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm still working my way through that. I need to beat it and finish it, but I'm getting close. So I'm excited to get that done. So yeah, the Marvel games are doing really well. I can't wait to see what's sort of like in the future, what they have plans for.
So I know what I want to ask you is this, because I posted this all over Facebook, and let everybody know that you're coming on tonight, and took out some ads on Facebook because I love you, Facebook. So there's some people over there that are probably watching not logged in. But what would be a common question that you get a lot that maybe you could answer in case they have that question?
Yeah. Can you repeat that last part? Sorry about that.
Sure. So there's probably a lot of people on Facebook right now watching that are not logged into YouTube, and they're probably not chatting. So what would be a common question that you might get as an Xbox employee? It's like a common question that people ask you all the time that you probably just answer and passing by. And maybe that will answer, a question they might have.
You mean a common question about?
Yep.
Like Xbox, or just about
like a general question that you usually get since you work at Xbox?
Yeah. When can I get a Series X?
Yeah.
I think they're shipping right now. I know a lot of places are selling them right now. I think they're out and about in the industry, in the market. So basically, guys, just say just stay patient, and hopefully soon you'll get the notice. Stay in contact with your local retailers, and If they have a hold ability, try to get one held for you, and then sort of go from there. I'm liking what the Series X is doing. It's a nice console. So yeah.
And out of all the controllers that maybe that have come out, what are some that you put in your personal collection? Do you have any favorites from Xbox?
Yeah, well, I got the Halo Infinite controller. Let me see what else I got. I got the Cyberpunk controller. I got my own controller that I made my own. There's a few other ones over there, and I got the Razer one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but that's hardwired, so I just have that plugged into my PC. So when I'm playing XCloud, you can play XCloud on your PC with the web browser. So it's pretty cool. So I normally use that one. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The Elite, yeah, it's the Elite 2 Halo controller that just came out. So I was able to get one of those. That was high in demand. I haven't played it or
Okay.
opened it yet. But I like the Elite 2 controller. Just that's my main controller that I use on my Series X. It's Elite 2.
And what would you say is the last game that you played today?
Today? I don't think did I play anything? I didn't play anything today. Last game I played yesterday was Elden Ring.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh no. WWE was my last game I played. Last night I played WWE late night.
Wow.
And before that it was Elden Ring. Yeah.
So, Paris, quick question, man. So, I know that the Xbox's architecture is based off of AMD, and they just came out and touted the FSR 2.0, which is the upscaler. And I do know that Microsoft also working on their own AI algorithm for a different version of an image rebuilding technology. Um, do you do you know if the first party titles are going to start implementing that tech within the first party games? S-
I am not aware of what you just said. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, if you know something that I don't, then I don't know. Yeah, I I have no opinion on that because I don't know.
Let me ask Paul.
Unfortunately,
He knows
sorry, bro.
everything.
I mean, I wish
No,
I could
I'm
answer that
just
question,
I'm just
but
joking. Uh, no, just curious if you knew, bro. That's
yeah.
no worries. I'm
Paul,
trying to
did you
give
have
you
any
guys a
questions?
shot, man.
I've answered all the questions I've had, and
I can keep going. There's a question in the chat about Persona coming to Xbox.
oh, where is that one?
I
I
don't think Paris would have the key to that answer.
no,
But-
Well, somebody did ask for keys, but I feel like that
yeah,
person,
I'm ignoring Killer Scorpion asking for
yeah,
game keys.
he's
Yeah,
got he just got a fat check and get his own keys.
right. And if your Elite 2 is falling apart like your Elite 1, then maybe it's the user, not the controller. No, I'm kidding.
Do I have
Well,
any game? Do
things
I have
ain't
any
built to
game
last
keys?
anyway. If you
yeah,
rough, you gonna
yeah,
break it.
that's
I mean,
right.
it is what it is. I mean, I've been through a lot of controllers. Trust me.
I've actually had some good luck with my few controllers, but yeah, for a couple of years there, it seemed like every once in a while I was getting stick drift with after about 6 months or so. So not this time though.
He said he wasn't. He was just making. That was just one of the number one. Actually, one of the
Yeah.
number one questions that I think comes up is what is your favorite console, or what is the best console?
I would say what's the best console, but I think my favorite console is the Series X.
See,
It's my
that was
favorite
easy. That
console.
flipped off the tongue. I thought he was gonna hesitate for a second.
oh,
um,
oh, I see. The killer was answering the what the most common questions he get asked, which would include, do you have any, keys?
Oh, keys.
Uh,
Yeah, I get those questions in DMs all the time. Yeah.
Yo, I'm just saying. Remember Paris? Remember that game, 1 versus 100? I
Yeah, we
think
want
that would
that
be
back. We
dope.
want that back.
I
Yeah.
think that would be dope on XCloud.
1 versus 100. Yes, send me the feedback.
You know what?
Um,
Can I
send me that
send feedback
feedback.
every day, Paris? Once a day to say full house poker, full house poker, full house poker once a day.
You're
Cause
gonna get
that
marked
Give
for
game,
me,
spam.
give me the feedback. Give us the feedback, and then we can sort of,
Yeah, Paris is
see,
going to
see
start
whatever.
blocking us all after. It's like, you've been blocked. Oh, crap.
Get it, yeah.
so anyway, I know that we are actually coming up to the 8 o'clock mark, and usually for interviews, it's usually about an hour. So I don't want to keep Paris in the hot seat over here with PK asking all those questions over
I
there.
was good today. What are you talking about? I didn't go
Yeah,
hard.
yeah, you were. I can't say you weren't because you were. Yes, you were. But Paris, since you are our special guest tonight, is there anything that you'd like to tell everybody out there? Anything, your outro, anything that you want to tell people where people could find you?
Yeah. Before I go, I think one thing I would say is everyone just be kind to one another. Um, really think about, before you do anything or say anything about anyone, everyone is going through something. Um, you know, everyone has something going on, right? And for you to pile on or say something, just think about that before you actually, carry out on a response or something, right? Just try to be kind to one another. We need more kindness, especially what's going on in the world today. I think as we grow as a society across the world, and here in the United States or wherever you're at, just try to be kind to one another. That just goes so far. Like, say thank you. You know, maybe hold the door open for someone. Maybe see somebody with groceries. Pick them up and take them to their car. Just try to do things. It can be simple things, like just try to do that more often than just assume the worst, right? I just want people to be happy in the world. And I know we got a long way to go, but it takes everybody. It's going to be a group effort. So all I recommend is just try to be kind to one another, regardless of what's going on. Even if you're having a crappy day and people were mean to you, don't try to find some positivity and tune into that positivity, and push away the bad stuff, and pay it forward and be nice, and somebody's going to be nice to you too. So that's all I could say. My You can find me on Twitter at plock77. That's plock77, PLOCK 77. I think you'll probably add it in the title of the show or something like that, right, Carlo? Probably, maybe if I'm cool enough.
You might have to remind Carlo like 4 times to do it.
All right.
Yeah.
That, and then I talked about the Marvel Facebook group. Yeah, so you can join that Marvel Cinematic Facebook group. Please do. It's fun times there. If you don't have a Facebook, get a Facebook. See what Facebook does with the metaverse. I'm trying to convince them to give our group first dibs on whatever they're trying to create. So that would be cool. You may be able to be invited to something on there just from our group alone. So which would be cool to be being able to experience new stuff there. Other than that, yeah, just find me on Twitter, plock77. It was a pleasure, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it. And watch our Marvel shows. Like, we do like a little side Marvel show outside these interviews, and we're trying to build that show up as we talk about Marvel shows and the Halo show reviews and stuff like that. So tune in for that type of stuff.
We should have another Moon Knight review coming up really soon here. So
yeah. Oh, I gotta give a special shout out. I just saw Megatron join. So what's up, Mega? How's it going? You guys need to recruit Mega on this show. I'm calling it now.
Yes,
Mega
come on, Mega. Come on, man.
Mega to 4G.
Mega don't want to hang out with us.
Time will tell. Time will tell.
These jab turkeys on here.
This is a perfect place. This would be a perfect place for him. I think you guys do an awesome job. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Hey,
Well,
man,
thank
I
you.
appreciate everything, and thanks for everyone that's watching. Um, Definitely, this man is very interesting. He has the same passions as us. We're that's what we're close to him. Um, and definitely want to check out that Marvel Facebook group. I know we keep saying that, beating it in the bush, but there's something special going on there, and that's why we're advertising. To go ahead and join our crew.
Yep. And if we get the DC group off the ground and up and rolling, that'd be good too. Because some of
Oh,
us, I'm,
it's coming. It's coming.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah.
Paris, thank you for taking the hot seat tonight and doing the interview with us.
Yep.
And of course, you're always welcome to stay for PK's long outro and Cerebral Paul's extra long outro. It's up
Oh
to
yeah, no,
you.
I'll stay. I want to stay and listen to that because I do want to hear Cereal Paul because I want to see if it has anything to do with pineapples because if it does,
No.
then that just
Shush.
hits
No.
my
No.
it gives me
No.
the pleasure to stay.
No.
Yes.
Oh.
So,
Come on, Paul, you got to say it like this. Hey, my name is Paul. Pineapple
Uh,
Paul. This is what we do.
oh.
This is how I'm doing it. I'm the Xbox ambassador. I'm doing
Uh,
all this. I'm doing that.
uh,
Pineapples,
no.
hashtag pineapples, Paul's, pineapple. This is how it goes down.
No pineapple full hashtag. No. Oh. One of these days, I'm gonna get a hold of somebody you work with. One of these days, out of nowhere, pineapple is gonna go flying past your head, and, and you're gonna
he's
hear
gonna
that's
have a
from
pineapple
Paul.
on his
I
desk.
might
He's
catch
gonna
it,
be
Paul. I
like,
might catch it. I might
Paul
catch
was
it
here.
and cut it open.
Yeah, that's it. Leave a pineapple on your desk every once in a
Yeah.
while, just randomly. Yeah.
Paul was here. He is watching. So let's go to the most electrifying man in all the YouTube land. His name is PKX Live Entertainment. Where can people find you, PK?
Hey, man, relax. I got this. So definitely find me on 4GQTV, and definitely, hey, hit me up on Twitter at PKX Live and on the Dragons Den. There's no Dragons Den this week because 108 Dragons TV is in at PAX East. So we'll be back next week, and we'll have some goodies. We have some good things to talk about, and yes, we have some more Marvel content coming. For those of you out there who are fans, we definitely want to include all of you in our opinions and our reviews. We want you to give us your feedback as well. So when you watch our shows, please give us your feedback because we like to know what you got to say.
Well, now we've come to the pineapple one. The one full of pineapples. Where can we find Mr. Pineapple Paul? Or no, wait, hold on. Mr. Celebrity Pineapple on his pizza Paul.
First, let me just say, if any of Paris's workmates are listening or watching, if you put a pineapple on his desk once every couple of weeks, thank you.
Megatron just gave five pineapples there.
I just saw that 5 pineapples. Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Cerebral Paul 1, Twitch and YouTube at Cerebral Paul. You can find me on Xbox Ambassadors channel every Monday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, or 6 p.m. in the UK, and where I do gaming differently with Cerebral Paul. And let's see, I think that's about it. And a bunch of other podcasts throughout the week. Yes.
Wow.
Nice.
I always say the best place to check me is on Twitter because I have a list of all the shows I'm stuff for. Is the first
Oh,
post in there.
everybody's giving you pineapples. You might as well just go ahead and
Well,
say it.
I told him to cosplay a MegaCon as a pineapple and everybody would recognize him.
No.
You know, I'm going to look into that, see if there's a pine. You could be SpongeBob. You could be SpongeBob SquarePants' Pineapple House as his cosplay.
No. No, there's something I could say, but we're a good show, so I'm not going to say that.
Oh my god! One quick question:
Relax,
you
Paul.
gotta read
You're an
Deadpool's
ambassador. You
comment
have to
there.
lead
You
by
gotta read that.
example.
Gonna meet up with Celebrity Pineapple Paul at Orlando MegaCon this year and order some pineapple on our pizzas.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there's Pizzeria Uno over there, and that's not a plug. It's really there, right
yeah.
next to the convention. Yeah. So before we get out of here, I just want to let everybody know that we are going to MegaCon Orlando. It's going to be Dreadpool I and Celebrity Pineapple Paul down below. We're all going to be hanging out. I won't eat the pineapples on the pizza, but we will record Paul possibly eating pineapples on his pizza for
Yes.
the audience out there. Make some
Yeah.
memes and clips out of that. Paul doesn't mind. He likes that stuff. So
Yeah.
oh, nice. She's making a costume for Pineapple Paul. That's going to be great.
Oh
Um,
man.
but everyone, I want to thank you for coming out. I know that a lot of you are not on YouTube. A lot of you are on different things like Facebook. And you know what? Maybe one day go ahead and sign up for an account on YouTube and chat with us because it is awesome. Leave some comments if you can. Even comment on the Facebook posts when you see the video there. So we appreciate it. And I want to thank everybody for coming out. You can always check us out for GQ TV. MCU after show. We talk about Moon Knight. We talk about everything going on in Disney Plus, the movies. We're going to be doing a Morbius thing once Paris sees Morbius. Paris got to see Morbius, and we talk about Morbius. So, everybody, thank you for coming out. And until next time, see you guys later.
Bye.
Thanks for having me.